Hello, I'm Nikki, or Nikki Joe as you may know me. I appreciate that the world has gone just a little bit crazy, and there's probably a lot of people feeling worried or stressed, or maybe just a little bit bored because we're all doing our bit and staying indoors, which is great. As an entertainer, I just thought that I would put together some videos, perhaps every few days, just to watch with your children, or even if you're grown up, maybe watch them. They're going to be silly and fun. Sometimes I'm going to read stories, I'm going to sing songs, do some magic, maybe Punch and Judy will make an appearance, who knows. I'd also got some bookings for some older people who would love to probably hear some 50s and 60s songs, so I might drop that in at some point. Basically, I just wanted to do some fun and random things to spread a bit of positivity, and I really hope you enjoy them. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do today is read a story, and I've chosen this book, and it's called My Cat Likes to Hide in Boxes, and it's written by Eve Sutton. I've chosen this because it's a favourite of mine that my nan used to read to me when I was little. So, let's go. My cat likes to hide in boxes. The cat from France likes to sing and dance, but my cat likes to hide in boxes. The cat from Spain flew an aeroplane. The cat from France likes to sing and dance, but my cat likes to hide in boxes. This one's my favourite. The cat from Norway got stuck in the doorway. The cat from Spain flew an aeroplane. The cat from France likes to sing and dance, but my cat likes to hide in boxes. The cat from Greece joined the police. The cat from Norway got stuck in the doorway. The cat from Spain flew an aeroplane. The cat from France likes to sing and dance, but my cat likes to hide in boxes. The cat from Brazil caught a very bad chill. The cat from Greece joined the police. The cat from Norway got stuck in the doorway. The cat from Spain flew an aeroplane. The cat from France likes to sing and dance, but my cat likes to hide in boxes. The cat from Berlin played the violin. The cat from Brazil caught a very bad chill. The cat from Greece joined the police. The cat from Norway got stuck in the doorway. The cat from Spain flew an aeroplane, and the cat from France likes to sing and dance, but my cat likes to hide in boxes. The cat from Japan waved a big blue fan. The cat from Berlin played the violin. The cat from Brazil caught a very bad chill. The cat from Greece joined the police. The cat from Norway got stuck in the doorway. The cat from Spain flew an aeroplane, and the cat from France likes to sing and dance. But, well, just look at all these clever cats. From Spain, Brazil and France, from Greece, Japan and Norway. Cats who sing and fly and dance. But my cat likes to hide in boxes. I've been joined now by my friend George. No, I haven't got any bananas. Silly monkey. Could we sing a song about monkeys? I don't see why not. that, George? No. Why not? Oh, he didn't like the part when the monkeys bumped their heads. There's no pleasing some people, is there? Okay, we've just got time for one more story. And this is written by Ina Blyton, and it's from a book called Hello, Mr. Twiddle. Once upon a time, Mrs. Twiddle got very tired of having Mr. Twiddle in the house. "Mr. Twiddle, for goodness sake, go into the garden and do some work," she cried. "Do you know what you've been doing all this morning? You've been trying to smoke your fountain pen, you've put your pipe into the inkstand, and is it you who stood your poker in the hall stand and put your umbrella in the fender?" Oh dear, said Mr. Twiddle, taking his fountain pen out of his mouth and staring at it. "I thought my pipe tasted a bit funny today. Oh, I'll go out and do a bit of gardening, Mrs. Twiddle." "You'd better, before you start to poke the fire with your umbrella," said Mrs. Twiddle. "Your best one, too. Oh, really, Twiddle, why don't you use your brains?" Mr. Twiddle could hear by the way that his wife talked that she was not in a very good temper. So he quickly went out into the hall, put on his boots, tied his old scarf round his neck, and ran out of doors. It was cold. What should he do? Well, he poked his head into the shed. It was dark in there, but he could see something piled up in the corner. "Bless us all," said Mr. Twiddle, staring. "I believe those are daffodil bulbs that we've forgotten to plant. Oh dear, what would Mrs. Twiddle say if she knew all those were sprouting away there in the corner instead of growing into nice yellow daffodils for the spring? Now, it would be a good thing if I planted them all. That would keep me busy all morning." So he took his spade and set to work. He dug up the bed and he fetched the bulbs in his barrow, set them all in nice rows and covered them up gently with earth. Oh, he could work well when he liked, could Mr. Twiddle. He quite enjoyed himself, for the morning was fine. He planted every single bulb, and then he heard his wife calling him. "You seem to be working very hard, Mr. Twiddle. I suppose you'll be hungry for dinner. Would you like a nice stew with carrots and onions and turnips?" "Oh, yes," said Mr. Twiddle, feeling quite hungry at the thought. "Well, fetch me a few carrots, one large turnip and some onions from the shed," called Mrs. Twiddle. So Mr. Twiddle went to the shed and looked around. The carrots were in a basket. So were a few turnips. He put them into a box and looked round for the onions. He couldn't see a single one. He trotted back to the house. "There are no onions at all," he said. "Rubbish," said Mrs. Twiddle. "There are heaps. Go back and look again, Twiddle." So Mr. Twiddle went back and looked again. But he couldn't see any onions, although this time he looked up at the roof of the shed too, thinking they might be hung there. And then he trotted back to the house again. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Twiddle, but there are no onions there," he said. "Oh, Mr. Twiddle, you do make me cross," said Mrs. Twiddle. "Why, I put the onions in the shed myself. Oh, come and I'll show you. Really, I should have thought you knew an onion by now." Mrs. Twiddle went down to the shed with Mr. Twiddle, and she looked around, and she stared in surprise. "How strange," she said. "How very, very strange. Not a single onion here. Where have they all gone? You've not been eating them, Twiddle, have you?" "Of course not," Mr. Twiddle offended. "I don't eat raw onions. Whereabout did you put them?" "In that corner," said Mrs. Twiddle, pointing. "They were there yesterday, a whole heap of them. Wherever could they have gone to?" Mr. Twiddle stared at the corner where his wife was pointing, and a horrid feeling came over him. Oh, there had been something there in the corner this morning, and he'd planted it. Dozens and dozens and dozens. "What are you looking like that for, Mr. Twiddle?" asked Mrs. Twiddle, staring at him. "Have you done something to my onions?" Nothing very much, dear," said Mr. Twiddle, trying to smile. I planted 'em, that's all." "Planted 'em, Twiddle?" said Mrs. Twiddle, in the greatest surprise. "Why did you want to plant onions for? You helped me yourself pull 'em up from the ground in the autumn. Why did you plant 'em again?" "I thought they were bulbs," said Mr. Twiddle. "Well, they are bulbs," said Mrs. Twiddle, "but they're not the sort to plant in the garden. I thought they were daffodils," said poor Mr. Twiddle. I've been very, very hard at work all the morning, planting them in neat rows. I thought it'd be a surprise for you. Well, it certainly is a surprise, said Mrs. Twiddle. And now, Twiddle, I'm afraid if you want onions in your stew for dinner, you'll have to do some more hard work and dig up all those onions again. Oh, poor Mr. Twiddle. He sadly took up his spade and dug up the dozens and dozens and dozens of onions he'd so carefully planted that morning. Wasn't he hungry when he'd finished? I could eat 2 whole stews, I declare, he said to Mrs. Twiddle when he went in. There was a beautiful stew for him, and he did enjoy it. I'm sorry you had to do all that work for nothing, Twiddle, said Mrs. Twiddle as she gave him a 4th helping of the stew. But, my dear man, do try and think what you're doing in the future. Oh, I will, Mrs. Twiddle, I will, said Mr. Twiddle, picking up the sugar shifter and shaking sugar all over his stew instead of pepper. I've quite made up my mind about that. And he stirred his lemonade with the salt spoon, smiling all over his funny old face. You just can't stop him doing things like that, can you? Okay, so that's it for today, folks. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know it's probably been a bit silly and a bit random, but that's just me. Just remember to stay safe, keep washing your hands, and just look after each other. And see you soon. Keep looking out for more videos. Bye!